True love. Well, this is the correct topic for Valentine's Day. It's hard to say those two words without thinking about the marriage scene in The Princess Bride. But does true love really exist? Well, we're gleaming from the Sermon on the Mount found in Matthew 5 through 7, and Jesus is introducing the kingdom of heaven to earth. This new way of living is a most radical and foreign concept. It's hard to believe that it is actually possible. And Jesus is introducing true love in our scripture today. It begins in verse number 27 of chapter 5. You have heard that it was said, you shall not commit adultery. But I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart. And then he continues in verse 31. It has been said, anyone who divorces his wife must give her a certificate of divorce. But I tell you that anyone who divorces his wife except for sexual immorality makes her a victim of adultery. And anyone who marries a divorced woman commits adultery. Jesus is using real-life situations to develop and contrast the old way of life with his new kingdom life. Well, I may be old, but I'm not dead, and God created me with desires. Few of the phrases that I've heard. And this way of living is based on the needs that human beings were created with, and the understanding is that we are waiting to be filled or completed by someone else. Country western songs echo this. Oh baby, you know what I like. And what about me? Love based on this concept is strong as long as we're getting what we think we need from the other one. But it quickly fades when we believe that the other is not living up to our expectations. As a pastor, I've heard, how long do I have to put up with that? We have our own ideas of entitlement and reasonable expectations. So as long as we believe the other is doing their part, we manage pretty well. But when the other doesn't measure up, well, it's time to look around. Jesus addressed this with the phrase, when it looks at a woman lustfully. And then he says, but do it in an honorable way. Give her a certificate of divorce. Do the right thing. Set her free so you can feel good about yourself. Well, Jesus is saying that there's a better way to live. This new kingdom living is exceedingly above the old way. Jesus is introducing the new kingdom life, the salt and light concept. We are to be salt for the world. We're to give value to life. We're to give flavor to life. We are to keep life from spoiling. Then we're to be the light of the world. We are to show a new way of living, to reflect the image of God to a dying world. We are also to expose the dangers that darkness tries to hide. Then Jesus teaches that we are to move on from murder, past being mad even enough to kill, or even getting angry, to the point of volunteering for the extra mile and even to bless those who curse us. So, what Jesus is saying about lust and divorce is this. We are to love our spouses so much that we don't even want to look around, and that divorce is simply not an option. We are to commit ourselves to the other, to be what they need. We are to be the salt and light to our spouses. We are to give value and flavor to their lives. We are to reflect the image of God to them. We're not even to get angry with them, but to bless them. Well, that's impossible. Yes, it is, without being poor in spirit, mourning, and then being comforted. Kingdom living has to be possible or Jesus is a liar. But he's not a liar. So, how is it possible? Well, Matthew chapter 5, verse 3 and 4, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. You see, when we get to the end of ourselves and realize our emptiness, we mourn, we cry out to God, who then comforts us with his Spirit, the same Spirit that is in Jesus. We become one with him. His life in us makes us truly alive. We merge. We blend. Our dry sponge becomes saturated with God's Spirit and we're filled up. We become completed. We become secure. His love becomes our love. Our needs are met. His resources are our resources. We become co-owners of the universe. So, then we are able to be salt and light. We are able then to give life instead of taking it. We are able then to respond to insults with love. We are able then to offer God's help with wisdom and generosity. We are able then to love our spouses so much that we don't have a desire to cheat or leave. And we guard our eyes. What a great world this would be and will be when we all realize our poverty of spirit and mourn and are then comforted. Well, we could live forever like that, couldn't we? True love. Happy Valentine's Day.